Welcome again to the series of podcasts about Masaaki Imai's legacy. Today I have with me Mariusz Bryke, CEO of Kaizen Institute Poland. Welcome, Mariusz.
Thank you for the invitation. Thank you very much.
So, Mariusz, maybe let's start with let's say, basic question, which is, what was the first time that you went Masaaki? Do you recall how was this first time?
Yes, Aleix, you probably didn't have chance to remember those times, but Masaaki Imai visited Poland 14 times since 2004 until a short period before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And he left a really very big mark in our country, in Poland. He became very quickly a legend in Poland, and I remember our first meeting with him during the first Kaizen Congress in Wrocław in Poland. Yeah, before we met, it seemed to me that due his fame in the world, he is so unavailable that he would not bend over to talk to us. Yes, a newbie, the fresh beginners in the Kaizen world. But it was quite the opposite. At the time, he gave us such portion of motivation to develop his idea in Poland that he's enough to this day today.
Mm-hmm.
Not only with his knowledge, but above all with himself, with his personality, with his modesty, culture, and extraordinary sensitivity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great. So actually, when you've met him, we went through a lot of time together, 14 times you mentioned.
Yeah.
So during all this time, what do you think is the most important Kaizen message that Masaaki left us?
This is very tricky question from your side. Of course, the most classic example is the way of understanding Kaizen. Yes, not only by the definition as continuous improvement, but done by everyone, by everywhere, and every day. This is very important. But Masaaki Imai left us with a series of messages on how to properly understand continuous improvement, Kaizen. For example, let's reject excuses. Then something can be done, and instead think about how to do it. Yes, we use this message in our daily business life. Yes, let's reject the status quo and free ourselves from old paradigms. Yes, we use this in our managers' daily work. Yeah. Let's choose simple solutions without waiting for the perfect ones. Yeah, let's implement them immediately, even if we have 50% of chance of achieving them. Or another one, let's ask why 5 times before we get to the root of the problem. Yes, this is like the tool of using in Kaizen. Yes, this is very difficult to answer which one is the most important. Yes, the legacy of Masaaki Imai is full of very important messages. So I think the most important was at the beginning. I said this definition. Yeah. By everywhere, every day, and everyone. Yes,
true.
This is
true. It's quite difficult, I would say, because through those years there's been a lot of things that we gather and we try to now show to the world and try to pass the message. Right?
Yeah.
But actually, there's a lot of messages that you took and now you are telling us the most important. But now, if I go to yourself, so to your person, are there any key lessons that you learned during this time that you still apply at your work today?
Good question. I'd like to express, maybe at this point, I would like to express my special thanks to Masaaki Imai, to our guru and sensei, for convincing me, especially me, but also all of us, yes, with such faith, energy, and charisma. Not only that it is worth taking the path of Kaizen, going to Gemba and practicing Kaizen initiatives, but he showed all of us, yes, that Kaizen is more than tools, more than organizational culture or company strategy. Kaizen is our DNA, you know it. It is us. Kaizen, it is us. And we try to follow this message in our daily lives in our work. Yeah, are you agree?
I actually agree, because we are talking a lot about the legacy of the methodology, but not just going into the tools, but creating the culture of continuous improvement, right? And actually, one of the words that he was using a lot is go to Gemba, right? That's one of the things.
Yes,
and actually, I'm linking this to the next question, because what did Masaaki actually teach you about Gemba?
About Gemba, in Masaaki Imai's approach to the strategy of continuous improvement, he refers to the roots. It means two fundamental elements of Toyota strategy. Yes, for the first, Kaizen, and for the second, respect for the people. Yeah, and he relates them to Gemba Kaizen. He related that this is a human system. This is very important. I want to underline this human system that works only when it focuses on the people. Therefore, managers should care about creating an organization that strives to achieve goals and values common to themselves and to employees. Then improvement will become a way of life. Yeah, and employees will be proud of the work they are doing and will feel competent to solve the problems occurring within the Gemba. Yeah. And at the same time, Masaaki Imai believes or said that today's manager too often try to use very sophisticated, complicated tools and technologies to solve the problems that can be solved with a common sense and low-cost approach. Yeah.
Sure. Actually, that's something that he used to remember us.
Yes.
I know about this go to Gemba and make things simple, right? So actually now you're talking about going to Gemba, some of the clients that we had, and how are we telling them our approach in terms of Kaizen methodology. Do you have any story that you could share with us when Masaaki visited some of our clients, for example, here in Poland?
I have to say I was very lucky, because I had the opportunity to spend many days with him. Most often he came together with Mrs. Noriko, his wife, and we traveled all over Poland together. Yeah, and almost always by car, because it was the best way to reach our customer at that time. So we had a lot of time for endless discussions, conversations, not only about Kaizen. Visiting monuments, beautiful places together with him brings us closer and closer. I remember his admiration for the beauty of our country, for our cuisine, for our people, Polish people. But I remember also his irritation. In many companies we visited and couldn't understand the ideas he was conveying to them. That's this very strange thing. I remember the admiration of the participants of the congresses, where he was so eager to perform and present his new ideas. I remember how quickly he ran away from the gala after the congress when it was getting a bit too loud. I remember one time after the congress, during the evening gala, he took a microphone in our town hall in Wrocław and did not let it be taken away from a long time. And even though everyone was already very hungry, they listened with great attention to what the Kaicho had to say. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, very funny story, I would say. A lot of them probably you have, Mariusz, in the background. So let's wrap up. I would like to finish the podcast with one last question, which I think is very important and summarizes all what we are talking about and about the legacy of Masaaki, which is, Mariusz, who is Imai to you?
Wow. I still feel the sadness and emptiness after passing of this great person. Mr. Masaaki Imai was probably the person who left the greatest mark on my last 20 years professional work career. But not only. His teachings, his wisdom also penetrated our everyday private life, yeah, and became a part of my family. Kaizen penetrated our lives, became an element of our conversation with my wife, with my children, and suddenly Kaizen appeared in our lives in parallel, both at work in the Kaizen Institute and in private life.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what was cool? We were all fine with it. In some ways, this is very private. He began to remind me of my father also, not only because they were born in the same year, but as guide in my search for new wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace, Kaicho.
Oh, thank you, Mariusz. Thank you for being here with me and for sharing these stories about Masaaki. To our audience, we will be back soon with more podcasts with key members of our Kaizen Institute. So stay tuned and see you soon.